Mr. Sharvanth, who is, a 12-year boy and a young champion, who is a writer and the author. Pages all yours, and we're so happy to have you here and eager to know your story, the raw story for today.
What a wonderful day is it? It's a beautiful day. First off, I want to express my gratitude to Bala sir for giving me this wonderful opportunity. It's not every day that you share your life's experience on stage. I appreciate the wonderful scope, sir. So, additionally, I also want to thank all the listeners who had come to listen to my speech today. The oration wouldn't be complete without you. So, if I don't take up the chance of introducing myself before I go into the prospect of my oration, there wouldn't be a prospect to my oration. So, I'll start off by introducing myself. So, I am Sharvanth here from Sunshine SSM, studying at class 8. So, I possess a great interest in books and tech. So I admire the aesthetics of tech so much, I started making videos on them so that I just don't have the interest in myself, but also give away sparkles of creativity for the others to get started in their own tech world. Also, so I want to thank everybody, and I'll start off with my speech. It may be difficult for many people to believe that I'm an author. Age, I discovered, is not a deterrent to completing and finishing your tasks. In my voyage, I was also aware that a small flame may quickly grow into a massive fire. My insights were chronicled in the books I wrote. I was able to achieve my goal of becoming a published author because of the hard work that I put in along the way. All you need is a spark of creativity to get started. Your ideas will start to bloom once you have done so. It was a commitment that I approached to my work, which led to a whole new persona for myself. There's this one saying, hard work never fails. So this quote had impacted me in my writing journey, which I wanted to share with you today. Without my mentors and friends, who were the actual aspects of my writing journey, who gave me the start into the writing world and developed me to explore more into it, I wouldn't have reached such position. As I mentioned before, I possess a great interest in books. Yes, that's true. I love books. I started possessing interest in books when I was around 7 years. My foray into the vast number of novels started when I was around 7, when one of my father's friends gifted me few books that I could actually read at that time. I was such a great army buff when I was around 7, and I was shocked to find the principal focus of the books were about the armies. I was so interested to leaf through the pages of the books because it was one of the concepts that I admire the most. That book touched my heart. So that I went to them 3 times in a row. So my mother saw how much I appreciated reading and decided to get me to a lending library where I could borrow books. So I started to read books with more and more books as days passed. I opted to take things slowly at first when I came across a book which piqued my interest. That book altered my life permanently, motivating me to continue writing. I'd start with a modest flame of writing and work my way up to a larger flame of reading. Over the course of the past 4 years, I devoured into all books I could find and had completed over 300 books. There was no easy task indeed. There was a sparkle to my writing career. Once I used to wonder how these great authors make these great books which used to turn into a huge success and influences the lives of millions of people. I thought it was not easy to publish a book until you had the skill to do so. I also used to wonder why can't I make these books which may or may not influence many people around the world. There was a trigger to my writing career. There was a sparkle to my writing career. So then I started writing whenever I got inspiration and time, and had eventually completed over 41 stories over the course of 2 years. It was going well when my father suggested I publish them. I started at first, as most of you will do, because I wasn't sure my books were capable enough to be published yet. But then I thought it was brilliant to get moving on. So then we approached lots of publishers, and they didn't accept my work because because I was too young and my draught wasn't good enough. So then my mother called me one day and she said, there's an publisher who's ready to publish my work. So I was really overjoyed and started to put a lot of effort on my first book. So then my first book was published on January 23rd, 2021. So then I would like to talk about the 2 books I published so far. My first book, The Abysmal Thief and Other Stories, marks my debut. My second book, The Devious Person, is a fiction, and now I have completed my 3rd book, which was published on stage today. Wishes would be undoubtedly required. I would like to hear the feedbacks and reviews of the book after I read it for my future endeavors. I would also like to talk about few authors and books which had piqued my interest over writing. One of my favorite authors is Enid Blyton. Beth Kempton, an author who is known for her substantial writing in Japanese aesthetics, it also inspired me in my journey. Some of the books that I would like to mention here are Wabi Sabi, a book on Japanese aesthetics, Beth Kempton, and the Secret Servant series by Enid Blyton. Practically speaking, I create content as well. Technology is one of the most admiring concepts of my life, as I mentioned before. So then I started making videos on them for all platforms. I've also talked with lots of big people like Education Minister of Tamil Nadu, Director General of Police, Ian Busa, and Vairamuthu sir. It was really a pleasure to meet them. I was also awarded with a feat to be the youngest to write books on the adventures of a detective. So it was no easy task indeed. It's not every day that you make it into the IBA. So now I will conclude here by saying that if you want to achieve something in life, you should spend time on yourself until you are able to do beyond what you are capable of. Thank you. With regards, Sharvanth.